I should have turned back. Everyone else had. The weather reports screamed danger, and the other climbers had seen the warning signs. But I was too close to the summit to stop now. After months of training, weeks of planning, I refused to let this mountain defeat me. That was my first mistake. The ascent had been smooth, at first. The morning was crisp, the air thin but manageable. My gear was solid, my body was strong. But as the day stretched on, the temperature dropped, and a slow dread crept into my gut. The wind picked up, an icy force that bit through my layers. Snow swirled at my feet, erasing my path behind me. I ignored the warnings in my mind, pressing forward. That was my second mistake. By afternoon, the storm announced itself with full force. The wind howled like a living beast, tearing at my gear, pushing me back with each step. Visibility plummeted. The sky darkened, thick with swirling snow, turning the world into an endless white abyss. My radio crackled, then went silent. The GPS struggled to find a signal. My gloves were stiff, my fingers aching from the cold as I tried to adjust my headlamp. I told myself I could still make it. I just had to find shelter. But there was none. Then the whiteout swallowed me whole. The trail was gone. The mountain itself seemed to vanish, leaving only the sound of the wind screaming in my ears. Every direction looked the same, just blinding, suffocating white. My breaths came fast and shallow. I turned in circles, searching for a landmark, a sign, anything. But there was nothing. My heartbeat pounded in my ears. The storm was winning. I stumbled forward, my boots sinking deep into unseen drifts. Then, suddenly, the ground wasn't there. My foot met air, a ledge. I fell forward, arms flailing, barely managing to grip an icy outcrop before I tumbled into the void below. My body dangled, the weight of my pack threatening to pull me down. With every ounce of strength, I hauled myself back up, collapsing onto the ice, panting. My body was shaking now, not just from the cold, but from pure terror. If I had fallen, no one would have found me. No one even knew where I was. Shelter. I needed shelter. My survival training kicked in, and I began digging, carving a small snow cave into the drift. My fingers burned, then went numb. The cold seeped into my bones, slow and merciless. My breathing was shallow. I needed warmth. I curled into myself, trying to conserve heat, but my body betrayed me, first with violent shivers, then nothing. That was the worst sign of all. The shivering had stopped. My body was shutting down. My eyelids were heavy. My mind drifted, fading into warmth that wasn't really there. A deep, dangerous sleep pulled at me. I fought to stay awake, but I was losing. Then, something cut through the storm. A sound, faint, a low hum, barely there. A chopper? Or just my mind playing cruel tricks? I forced my frozen limbs to move. I crawled out of my shelter, staring into the blizzard. Light flickered in the distance. A helicopter searchlight? Or was I hallucinating my last moments? With the last of my strength, I raised my arm, waving, screaming. The wind stole my voice, my vision blurred, the light wavered. Was this salvation, or was the mountain about to claim me as its own?